example of a Reconstructionist who was prominent a few years ago, and I want to mention that Christian Reconstructionism was basically founded by R.J. Rushdoony in 1973 as sort of the founder of Christian Reconstructionism. I also found out at just about the last minute that he's also credited with having being majorly influential in creating the modern homeschooling movement. So if you don't mind, I'm just going to take that opportunity to make a quick swipe at one of our other favorite targets.
Nice.
So Reconstructionism and homeschooling, founded by the same guy. I mean, the current modern form of homeschooling in the U.S. Okay. Let me talk for a minute about my favorite disciple of R.J. Rushdoony, which is his son-in-law. And let me start out by reading something he wrote that may sound familiar if you have a long memory. The year 2000 problem, the year the earth stands still.